Hey, yo, it's Dominic D'Angelo. It's Rumor and Innuendo. It's a Monday. You know what that means. We're going to talk a little WWE Raw, but we got plenty to talk about. And I'm here with Mr. Robert Karpelis, W Creative _ish. Robert, happy Monday, my man.
Happy Monday. Excited to be here. Trying to get the gimmick loaded up on the X to repost and all that other stuff while Dom is telling us who he is. I'm sure that you didn't have this problem when you were chatting with Bret Hart this weekend, did you?
No. Bret knew who I was, right? Friend of the show, Bret Hart. We talked for an hour and a half. It's up now on studio1sports.com, so check it out after where you're done with this.
And I know what you're thinking. Isn't it great that he invited Robert to join him in his conversation with Bret the Hitman Hart? No, he did not.
Robert gave me great questions.
I gave you a bunch of great questions. I could have settled my 2-decade-long beef with Bret the Hitman Hart.
You have a beef with Bret?
Oh, do I have it? I had a tiff with the Hitman.
Whoa.
You deprived me of that opportunity to make peace with Bret. So now it's literally, in terms of Jews he hates, it's still Goldberg 1, me 2.
Robert 2. What happened? What's the tiff?
I can't divulge that kind of information without the Hitman present, but that's the next time you have another 90-minute chat with him, you can go check it out. But I know you guys talk all things Razor Ramon and bad news. A lot of other good stuff on there. Let's say hi to the folks joining us live, including Cammie Starr, who says, after morning all, one step closer to the D'Angelo takeover the WWE. No idea what you're talking about. We may discuss it a little bit later. Dre Owens, hello, R&I. Will we see the return of Roxanne Perez? Yes. Will Brock F5 Obafemi tonight? Maybe.
I hope not.
Maybe we save that. Wrestling Old Head says, a happy day, everyone. Highlight of SmackDown for me was the guy who came out of the bathroom as Cody Rhodes stalked towards the ring. Hilarious moment.
Did you see that, Robert?
I did. Caspian 07 says, I've met Bret. He does not hide his hatred of Triple H. Yeah. Tony Gong says, didn't Bret have an issue with how you ordered a sandwich? Close. Whoa. I had an issue with how he ordered a sandwich.
Oh no.
And yeah, it's look, there's few things in life that can get more personal than a guy misordering a sandwich. But before we get to that, Dom, we got to talk a little SmackDown.
Yes.
From Friday night.
Did SmackDown lay at the SmackDown for you, Robert?
SmackDown, it didn't layeth the smack it down, but it certainly droppeth the ball yet again, with one lone exception.
Mm-hmm.
In the main event of SmackDown.
Yes.
In one of possibly the worst blocked, choreographed, and executed main events in the history of SmackDown, there was one shining star.
Yeah.
And that was your degenerate, foul-mouthed, disaster of a brother, Marcus D'Angelo, who apparently is now a WWE security deputized official going in there trying to maintain order with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, and both Randy and Cody beating the hell out of your brother. Rightfully so.
Marcus can't do it all. He needed help, and he tried to restore some order. I believe in my brother and D'Angelo Brothers security, by the way. We're open for business if anybody doesn't.
Yeah, Dom didn't. By the way, they were in Pittsburgh. You didn't go help. You left that poor man all to his own devices with a bunch of just random J-Brones out there trying to hold law and order. You would have grabbed Cody by one scruff of the neck, Randy by the other, and been like, "Hey, knock it off.
You two, stop it.
Knock it off."
Next time, Marcus can help it.
SmackDown sucked.
Yeah.
SmackDown felt like I thought the news today was going to be Jelly Roll has some sort of terrible, debilitating terminal illness, and that this was his Connor the Crusher moment, and they were going to let him be the star of SmackDown. That was not the case, but instead, boy, we got a lot of Jelly Roll.
A whole lot of Jelly Roll, but we rolled off with Matt Cardona and Randy Orton starting off the show in a confrontation. Did you feel this was kind of pointless, Robert?
So I liked Orton's promo, and it was the promo we've been expecting this whole time. The villain origin story, mustache twirling. You told me you wanted the best version of me. Well, the best version of me listens to voices in my head. So, Cody, I listened to those voices. And then out came Matt Cardona as Scrappy Doo. And put him up, put him up. I'm going to defend my bestest friend in the whole wide world. Why rehire Cardona? Why let that guy go out there to look like a goof, to recreate what happened with Kane, essentially?
I don't get it, Robert. I really don't, because you bring Cardona in. There's some value in having a guy like that in there, and it's not in this manner as like, hey, best buddy, get me beat up. That's not the role you want him in.
Well,
I don't.
no. What we're seeing here is the official button of WrestleMania this year has been the panic button, and
Yeah.
when you push that panic button and rushed to a Randy Orton Cody Rhodes match, I said you do not have enough time to tell the right story. So what they're doing is they're telling all of the stories. It is, I have my first match against you. I respect you. And then triggering a quick Randy Orton heel turn that the audience did not understand, buy, or care about. Then it's, I'm going to go attack Cody's best friend, Matt Cardona, beat him up a week ago, broke his arm, left him dead by the side of the road. No, wait, that was Darby. And then they do it again this week where it's, I'm going to beat up not only your best friend, but now you're going to come out. We're going to do the overly long brawl where Cody, look, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Cody missed 100% of the punches he threw. There was so much space in between him and Randy. You could have fit old Jelly Roll in between those. I don't know what was going on. He was like way off base. And on top of all of it, it was, oh, let's also throw a celebrity in there to go take a bump and have Randy Orton RKO Jelly Roll. And on top of what, but wait, there's more. Somewhere, Ron Propeel, the ghost of the Ronco Showtime rotisserie cooker impresario, is smiling. We still have not gotten the reveal of who's the man on the phone. Who's the mystery man who's talking to Randy Orton? So we have secret mystery phones, beaten up best friends, beaten up celebrities, heel turns, violent attacks on WrestleMania opponents. Boy, we're getting all of the things and hoping at least one of them fits into a video package.
And even all this, when they're doing all this stuff, this Randy Orton heel turn feels like Randy Orton heel turn light, because people aren't getting behind it. And not only that,
like him.
They like him. Right.
It's not only that they like him, it's the stuff that he's saying resonates. I am a legend. You know what? You're right. You are a legend. I want to win my 15th title. We want to see you win your 15th title.
I'm behind that.
I'm the best version of me is the one where I'm going crazy and killing people. You're right. We want to watch you kill people. I'm sick of Jelly Roll thinking he can come in here and tell me how to behave.
Who's this country bumpkin coming in here telling us wrestlers what to do? Give me a break.
Wow, country bumpkin. That is some strong language coming out of you. You know where there was some strong language on that show? It was coming from me watching the Jade Cargill segment.
Oh, speak on that, Robert.
So if the main event was one of the worst pull-apart brawls ever, that Jade Cargill segment was one of the worst produced segments I've ever seen the WWE put on television.
Whoa.
There's degrees of embarrassing. When I was at the WWE, there was a producer who got let go the day after, I believe it was a Raw, where talent used a phrase they weren't supposed to use. And again, we're going back a while, but it was something to the extent of the wrestler in the promo said something about the finish of the match. And that was a term we did not use back then. And that producer was fired that day for allowing that to happen.
Wow.
So there was a very draconian, like 0 strikes and you're out sort of world. If you go back and watch the Rhea, Jade, B-Fab, Mishin segment, no one was allowed to finish a sentence. It was as if Scott Chaplin wrote a segment. And they were talking over each other to such an extent that it almost felt intentional, not in storyline mode, but in real life, I'm going to sandbag you and make this segment look bad. You didn't get a clean audio bite. And that's one of the things we always tell talent. We need the clean audio bite of whatever your line is that we can then put into video packages for weeks going forward. It's the only reason we do promo segments.
Yeah.
And
And not only that, now it's social media clips too.
they stepped on each other's lines like what Dom just did right there. I love it. It was perfect. And they were telling 6 different stories. Mishin's story was, I came up in the same way you did, Rhea. We both fought to earn our spots. You got all these opportunities and breaks that I didn't get. And then BFAB kept doing like yes ands to all of that, while Jade was flexing and talking about her physique, while Rhea just kept laughing over them and then talking over it every time Jade spoke. So it came across as unprofessional. It came across as difficult to understand. And narratively speaking, if I'm a fan, I don't know what this story is. And you can't have that going into WrestleMania.
Who? Robert, do you think there will be like, is that more of a producer thing or is that more of a talent thing going on with that?
That's both.
That's both.
Because there's producers that are able to lay out these segments in advance, talk it through, make sure everyone understands what it is they're supposed to do. And if that's happening live in the ring, you have people ringside. There's all that crew on headsets. You can get to someone on headset and be like, hey, someone tell Rhea, shut up.
Yeah.
Let her talk. You're interrupting this segment.
Man. Yep.
Cammy Star brings up an important point here, unrelated to everything, saying she's disappointed with me and Scott in the pod that we never brought up the show after Raw, La Femme Nikita.
Ooh.
Oh, Cammy. Number one, we were talking about Chuck Norris passing and the Walker, Texas Ranger airing right before Raw. There have been many an episode of Working Stiff and Wrestle Roast before that where we have addressed La Femme Nikita, as well as Silk Stockings.
How about Pacific Blue? You guys
we talked about Pacific Blue on. Thanks for listening. You're our producer. Yes, we definitely talked about Silk Stockings and La Femme Nikita on the show before. Good quality stuff. And oh God, Renegade. Dre Owens dropping some knowledge there. Oh, Renegade was not a good show. Very few shows that aired on USA Network that was sort of buttressing Monday Night Raw was particularly captivating. I did always enjoy that when they were on what the hell? It was on the National Network. The National Network is the National Network. It was Star Trek: The Next Generation. No, yeah. Raw would be on TNN. And then it would be the Star Trek, so I'd get the last 20 seconds of the Star Trek: The Next Generation song, and then Monday Night Raw. Was there anything else on SmackDown that you felt really needs to be highlighted and called out? Because I got one other one.
How about Kit Wilson versus Jelly Roll match?
Give Kit Wilson a raise. That dude wrestled the largest broomstick ever and sold for that guy. It wasn't even a broomstick. It was a breadstick. And he sold for that guy. He bounced around as if his life depended on it. And credit to Jelly Roll.
Yep.
Jelly Roll was definitely a legit WWE fan. Segment that they did, the Judgment Day segment he was a part of earlier in the show, I thought was absolutely hilarious. The match with him and Kit Wilson could have been a minute and a half. Kit Wilson reads the poetry. Jelly Roll badmouths him. He turns around. Kit Wilson jumps him. Splash in the corner. Oh no, we're stumbling around. Jelly Roll grabs the poetry book. Kit Wilson goes to punch, hits the book. Ow, my hand. Turns around. Choke slam. 1, 2, 3. Everybody's happy. This felt like Jelly Roll saying, like, nah, man, I'm going to do a bunch of moves that belong to a guy who used to do podcasting with Dominic D'Angelo, one Mr. Road Dogg. Yeah. He was fine. I mean, he wasn't good in the match, but Kit Wilson just delivered in the way that Shawn Michaels did against Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam 2005.
Yeah.
In the, I will oversell everything to make this guy look like $1 trillion. The thing that really bugged me about this show, that there's that panic button again. They did the panic button thing with Drew and Fatu a week ago, which was we got to really amp this thing up. Let's do the stunt spectacular, like
Right.
Indiana Jones at Disney MGM Studios. It'll always be MGM Studios. I don't care what it's called.
Yep.
So this week it was, we got to get Trick Wilson on WrestleMania. So rather than come up with a reason for him to have a match, he's just walking around, and Nick Aldis, like Willy Wonka handing out golden tickets, just goes, hey, here's a WrestleMania match. Not for a title, not for any particular reason, not an identified opponent, just you're going to be wrestling at WrestleMania. Great.
That's like bare minimum lazy booking right there, too.
And then Sammy immediately walked by, and there's sad trombone of, and you're not wrestling on WrestleMania.
Shame
Womp,
on
womp.
you.
Carmelo Hayes is a dude who has worked his ass off while on SmackDown. They've continued to try to lose him in the shuffle, and he won't let them. He always over-delivers every time. He maximizes his minutes. So when they put the U.S. title on him now for a second go-round, and he's doing these open challenges, every one of those matches has carried lackluster episodes of SmackDown. And it became, what are they going to do with him going into WrestleMania? And the answer is he'll probably be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal the night before, because they went ahead and had Sami Zayn beat him for the U.S. title, despite the fact that Carmelo has literally been building a storyline with Ilya Dragunov, where Dragunov needed to work his way up to get the title shot. And he's like, once I'm ready, I'm doing it for my mom, and then loses in a fluke roll-ups. Not a definitive loss, like I'm going to get a rematch at some point, and I'm probably going to be vicious and possibly a heel. You've got Tama Tonga, who wants a shot at Carmelo Hayes. They've been teasing that for months. You've got Nakamura, who keeps needling Tama Tonga, and they're right there and ready to go. You've got The Miz, who's had all of his issues with Carmelo Hayes. You've even had Sammy, who could want a rematch against Carmelo Hayes. So instead, you have Sammy beat Mello to go right to a match with Trick Williams, who did Trick Williams used to team with in NXT?
That'd be Carmelo Hayes.
They could get to a multi-man match at some point in time, possibly throwing. It felt like that's where it was going to WrestleMania. Instead, I can see them saying, we want Sammy versus Trick to anoint Trick Williams at WrestleMania.
Right.
Yes, the Wrestling All Head says sounds like a 6 or 7 pack challenge. It felt like that was where they were going. Instead, it was, we got to get Trick Williams over, and we got to get Trick Williams over right now and do this one-on-one match with Sami Zayn.
Right.
I'm a little perplexed. It just felt super rushed, super weird, and not at all where, if you're watching week in and week out, you're being rewarded for that. I get that there's the fans who live in a bubble who, when it's WrestleMania, they're going to tune in. They're not going to tune in elsewhere. Totally understand, appreciate that. It's the cyclical nature of wrestling. But for the folks that are watching 52 weeks out of the year, you got to make it a little worthwhile. Everything is now turned into Rock versus John Cena, where it was, there's a year-long worth of storyline going on elsewhere, but Rock's back, so all that's out the window. But thankfully, John Cena, retired in December, and the character is gone. Said we're not going to see John Cena again as part of WrestleMania this year.
Right. Well, hold the phone now, Robert. Hold the phone.
I'm not holding a phone. I've got headsets on.
It's a figurative of speech, but
it's a figurative speech. Bless your heart, Tom.
That's the kind of terminology I use with Bret Hart. But yeah, John Cena announced on X he is going to be the host of WrestleMania 42
because he's filming a Netflix movie in Los Angeles, and it's just like, well, I'm filming a movie, so I'm going to do what all them Hollywood folks do, and I'm going to use this audience to get something else over.
That's it. And if you want to talk about Panic Button, this feels like Panic Button big time.
This is how many people can we add to this show?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is going to sell, bless you, a single ticket. If you were a fan of John Cena and you knew last year was his last ever WrestleMania, you probably shelled out the money and bought a ticket to go see John Cena wrestle at WrestleMania. Or if on his retirement tour, he came anywhere near a city of yours, you went out of your way to go see John Cena one final time. And what I always said about the John Cena retirement was he said he was walking away from the character. We weren't going to see the jorts. We weren't going to see the hand gestures. We weren't going to see John Cena, the thugonomics guy. If he came back, he would just sort of be John Cena, respected actor, brand ambassador, probably wearing a suit. Instead, he's going to be host of WrestleMania, which absolutely feels like an in gimmick. He's going to interact with people. We're going to get wacky nonsense and possibly an FU.
No, I don't want it. I don't want it at all. Like, you're supposed to go away so we care about you again.
What it also means is when you have a host, that means you need multiple segments with the host, which makes the show even longer, which decreases the amount of time they have for matches, but is not going to decrease the amount of commercials that they're going to air during WrestleMania. So you're still going to get 10 different, here's a DraftKings commercial and a TurboTax commercial and a Castrol GTX Drive Hard and a JVC Kaboom Box and a Stacker 2 YJ Stinger and a 1-800-COLLECT ad.
Wow, you named them all. And like, and Robert, the whole aspect of it is it's gonna feel like so half baked, him getting in there, and like it's gonna take away a lot of what we appreciated with John Cena's retirement tour. I don't know how, and if he's showing up in like a suit or whatever, he's gonna feel very fake, for lack of a better phrase, I think, to say it and all that, and it's not gonna feel organic to the fans at all that are seeing WrestleMania. I don't know. I don't like it. Don't like it.
I don't know what it really gets them. I don't think it gets them anymore. It doesn't get you mainstream coverage because John Cena is not a mainstream star. He is a mainstream star, but he's a WWE guy. There's a lot of people in the mainstream who just assume Cena was going to be there anyway. And for your internal fan base, if I wasn't planning on going to Vegas because of CM Punk and Roman Reigns, or Cody and Randy Orton, or Brock Lesnar and Obafemi, am I showing up to go watch John Cena come out and do some wacky bits? Probably not.
Yeah. How do you not learn from this too? Like all this aspect. Whenever you have a host of WrestleMania, it always feels underwhelming. Anyways, they do just the bare minimum for it all, and it's not effective. It feels like it takes away from who that star was, I think, in a lot of ways.
Also, if host of WrestleMania was really a thing, I know Miz has done it before. But are we trying to establish that there's going to be hosts of WrestleMania like Saturday Night Live going forward? Remember when they used to do hosts of Raw?
Yeah.
That was it worked out well for Bob Barker, and nothing bad has happened for Bob Barker in the news in the last few weeks.
Oh my gosh, I have a signed picture of him back behind me over here, and I don't know. I haven't seen it.
What we will see is Raw is in Madison Square Garden tonight. And that is the one time of the year when they always tend to bring it. So you've got the preview.
I do have the preview, Robert. And wow, we have World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk and Roman Reigns. They're set to appear, Robert.
Oh, good.
Guess who else set to appear? Brock Lesnar and Obafemi.
So Punk and Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Last week was yet another in like a series of just disastrous segments, ending with Punk getting put through a table and then just laughing and saying like, I'm fine. Like, I don't understand it. Obafemi and Brock, it's worked. I feel like we've gotten everything we need to get. I don't know that I need to see those guys really interact again going forward.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think so either. I'm with you on that.
Kevin Kellum asked a very important question.
Yeah.
Hey, when do we get the scoop on Billy and the CW? Well, we would talk about it now, but it looks like there's more matches to talk about for Raw.
There is more matches. There's plenty
more. Right now, this booking is in hell, but you know where Kevin is you can check out his Kevin in Hell comedy special. That should be coming out any day now.
I think April 1st.
I believe it's April 1st. I was going to let him put it in the chat there, but yes, that'll be dropping this Wednesday, and it is well worth your time.
We're going to get him on the show here this week too, for sure. So,
are we?
Yeah.
Thanks for telling me. By the way, guys, I have no editorial control of what goes on here. I just show up.
I was going to,
Appreciate that, Dom. I really feel like I'm a part of this broadcast. What's going to be part of tonight's broadcast is Lash Legend and Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyria and Bailey. Lyra and Bailey, who showed up on SmackDown.
Yes. And we're getting, a tag match already. I thought we were going to get more turmoil going on here, but we're having straight up matches going on with these tag team titles as we build to WrestleMania. Does that give any indicator that this match women's tag team title match will not be on the WrestleMania card?
Of course it's going to be on the card. You've got the situation with Charlotte and Alexa. I guess there's a potential Nikki Bella injury that we're not really sure of, because boy, that would really hamper her tremendous in-ring prowess. But it feels like we'll get the Bellas versus Charlotte and Alexa versus Bailey and Lyra versus the Lash and Nia Irresistible Forces. That's their name, right? Yeah.
Yes. Good job.
Possibly Kabuki Warriors.
Maybe.
I know there was talk of possibly EO versus Asuka, but who the hell knows?
Birds of Prey.
Now you're just making stuff up. What's not being made up is that this week is actually a men's world tag team title match, as opposed to last week. That was not a tag team title match. It's the Usos versus Logan Paul and Austin Theory in a New York street fight.
Ooh, get ready. Are they going to throw some Sabaros at one another, Robert, you think?
It's better than eating Sabaro. Good Lord. I guess this is where we're going to see LA Knight get involved.
Ooh, all right. Is he going to be a caddy driver?
I wouldn't give that man the keys to anything, literally or metaphorically. There's also the possibility that this is where Seth's going to pop up and cost someone a match. I keep hoping that they're going to pull the trigger on something interesting coming out of all this. We have not gotten it. My other hope is some sort of pivot for our boy Gunther, since Rey Mysterio is apparently injured. Gunther needs something to do at WrestleMania. He could host. What a welcome to WrestleMania, an evening followed by a second evening. Thank you.
What if they have him just MDK John Cena as the host? Would that be an effective way to use him at WrestleMania, actually, if he's not on the card?
I don't know what MDK means. So,
murder John Cena.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry. Unalive him.
Yes.
Relieve him of his living duties.
Well, I like that better.
Yes. Worst of luck in your future endeavors. Wrestling Old Hat asked, do you think Braun Breaker pops up perhaps under a mask? So it's possible. The only challenge with that is for Braun Breaker to appear, if he costs the Usos their tag titles, now Jey Uso is going to want to face Braun Breaker. You need to get to Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins. If Braun Breaker attacks Seth after Seth costs the Vision the tag titles, why was Braun there the whole time?
Yeah.
It strains a little bit of credibility. Who the hell knows? We know that we will be back tomorrow, as we are every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including WWE Creative_ISH X account, the @Dominic D'Angelo X account, the @SE Scoops X account, and on YouTube on Studio One Sports and Podcast Heat. So on behalf of the guy who's wearing fake glasses, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karplus. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Look at how thick these are. I can't even see the thing to click the ending. Bye, everybody. Hey, look out for D'Angelo tonight, too. MSG. Shh.